EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Here's Cairo Santos now ready to get this one started. And with towels waving, we're underway from Heinz Field. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here are the Titans now for their first drive. They'll be led by the Heisman finalist from a season ago, the rookie from Alabama, Mac Jones.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now the first carry for Zach Moss. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The numbers for him from a week ago, a boatload of carries, 88 yards and a touchdown.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense because you know those big guys up front.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. So the Steelers now in great shape to begin their initial possession. Leading him out in his 10th NFL season now from Texas A&M, Ryan Tannehill.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. This defense for the Titans, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game. And I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On third down, here's Williams. Yeah, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They've now produced 3-yard gains on 3 straight plays. Leads us to fourth down. Here we go with Williams. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there. Relied on the big guys up front and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he is unable to get in. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Williams, touchdown, Pittsburgh. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was the rookie Javonte Williams who finished it off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. He'll drop this underneath the Moss. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why, what we just saw. And the Steeler pressured too much here. He's going down. Hassan Reddick drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Back deep, Amon-Ra St. Brown. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over it that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
And a run like that shouldn't surprise anyone who's ever seen Javonte Williams play. Compact, strong, physical runner. He ran for 1,000 yards at North Carolina last year. In fact, it was over 1,100 and 19 touchdowns in addition. And that's despite sharing the backfield with another 1,000-yard rusher, Michael Carter, who was taken in the 4th round by the Jets. Najee Harris and Travis Etienne were taking over him. But many thought that Javonte Williams might be the best back in the draft.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. They give it to Williams, running right. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
On 1st down, it's Tannehill. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. The 20. Shoves him aside. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very 1st quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Moss. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. His 9th score on the ground this year and 13th overall. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point splits the uprights. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of...
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Moss. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But it looked like the Titans were able to recover, and indeed they will keep possession of the ball. We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
This is up and good from Pinheiro. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here comes Ryan Tannehill now, leading his offense back out there. Interesting stat line right now. Technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Out to his left. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They snap it to Tannehill. Being chased out left. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Throwing Jones. Jones hit and the ball's out. But it looked like the Titans were able to recover, and indeed they will keep possession of the ball.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw here into the hands of Jones. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now Jones. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Rashawn Gary, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. A give to Williams, running right. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Rasul Douglas picks it, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. Taking it about the 1. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards and just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devin White, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
3rd and long, it's Tannehill.
This one swung out to Williams.
And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. Now a timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They'll run it with Shaheen. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. On first down, Tannehill. They'll run the screen with Carson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he checks this one down to Williams. Touchdown!
Javonte Williams
With his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game.
And the Steelers get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. So the late touchdown there, and that certainly changes things as we move toward halftime.
Yeah, and there's a potential for things to change even more, because remember, they get the ball first to start the 3rd quarter. So they can potentially double up here and take the lead. A great opportunity for them.
Now the point after try for Santos. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. So we reach halftime here with the visiting Titans taking the lead into intermission. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here comes Ryan Tannehill now, leading his offense back out there. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
I used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Flushed out right. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. It's picked up by the Titans. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
We can't have that.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll give this to Moss running right. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. Jones. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Well, the terrible towels here at Heinz Field out in full force. Here's 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones. He'll drop this down to Williams. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they double that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone.
And now the rookie's free. He's at the 30. 10. And he takes it all the way, but there is a flag down, so hold the celebration. This one's coming back. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
On the counter, here's Williams. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Williams going to get it again on second down.
And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for third down. Back to throw, Tannehill. Escaping the pressure right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Going with Moss on the ground.
A tough run, but not a huge gain. Dropped at the 25. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 17.
Play action. Jones.
Oh, he's got his tight end, Mo Alley-Cox, complete.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
A handoff to Moss on the option.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Zach Moss.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Flush to his right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now a throw here to his running back.
And some space here. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big play there on the catch and run. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To throw is Tannehill. Man open is Robinson. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Throwing again is Tannehill. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's a 2nd down. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Dancing to his left. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. On the carry, Shaheen. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Eluding the pressure right. On the right side, caught by Green. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Here's Tannehill. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
That's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
No run back here for Jones. A touchback.
Let's go.
Tennessee offense making their way out onto the field as you take a look at the playoff race in the AFC.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. 1st down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball? Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
Looking long for Thomas. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Jones. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker.
They'll run on 1st down with Moss.
And he's taken down inside the 30.
58 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say,
and into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown.
With his 6th rushing touchdown on the year, 10th overall. And the Titans are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. But just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
To throw again on second down. Tannehill. Robinson's got it. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there, and they're going to hurry back to the line now. 3rd and 2, Tannehill.
And this will go to Carson out wide.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game.
For Chris Carson, I mean, he is a powerfully built back, and using that size and strength there to good advantage as he shakes free of a would-be tackler. Here's Tannehill.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Rasul Douglas picks it.
And the Titans are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
They'll go again here with Moss. Moss going to have a first down and more.
And finally taken down at the 44-yard line.
94 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
On the give, this is Moss.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. And they'll indeed take a knee. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So now the Steelers down by 15. 20 seconds to go. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10.
Tannehill to throw. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. And we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Throwing Tannehill.
He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they could look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it, and they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win